Good morning, peoples. Oh man, update on America. I think we're in trouble now, man. Like last week when we were going to be at peace, we were going to stop the war, we are going to stop giving money to Israel for the war. We were in good shape. But then they started the war again. And Trump like giving Israel another $8 billion, and Israel's dropping like the biggest bombs ever on Lebanon. These are not good signs. These are extremely bad signs for crushing our economy, crushing most of us. You know, unless you're rich. If you're rich, you'll be fine. You know, but average people, we're not fine, and poor people, which I am actually, we're in big trouble now. Big trouble. And that's too bad. I can't believe it. You know, we need good people in government. Ro Khanna and just one or two other people um, are trying to stop our army from joining with the Israeli army, you know. Because then they can actually have more money than we give them already. Instead of less money, it ends up they'll get way more money, you know, through our military. That doesn't make any sense. Another country's another country. America is supposed to be about taking care of America, you know, and we need to get to that. But these good people in Washington are lacking, extremely lacking. Another guy I like a lot is Senator Whitehouse. Nobody ever talks about him running for president, but I do think he's good. Um, I'm not into giving a bunch of money to other countries. The only thing I'd give to other countries is condoms, to be honest about that. We need to, we need good people. Yeah. Like I said in videos before that I am willing to be president, and of course that probably will not work, you know, because the way the system's set up, it takes millions of dollars. You got to kind of like be somebody, like be a celebrity or something to get in that light. But that's not according to the Constitution. That's not how it's supposed to work. You know, an average man is supposed to be able to be president and stuff like that. And, we need average men, good people, and women, good people to get into politics like never before. We need it well, I mean, a long time ago it was important, but it's important once again. It's very important. We need enlightened people, man. Smart people, good people, you know? Like, wow, we need to tax the rich. We need clean air and clean water. We need to get the money out of politics, you know? Like, these ideas are pretty simple. We need to fix Social Security, which means not giving it less money, means giving it more money. Oh, where do we get more money? Well, there's that $180 tax cap where millionaires and billionaires only have to pay Social Security tax on the first $180,000. That's ridiculous. Make them pay on every single dollar. Yes. And raise their taxes and raise corporate taxes. You know, I mean, it's not that hard to fix things if you have good people. Good people. That's what it's about. So I don't know. I still say, if nobody watches my videos, but like if everybody wanted to get together and if you know some millionaires and billionaires and you want me to be president, I'm willing to do that. What are my qualifications? Well, uh, uh, I started out watching the Kung Fu series, and then I studied Taoism and Buddhism, and then Star Trek. Star Trek. I always took the role of Captain Kirk amongst my friends. Bring me the information. I want to know everything, and then, you know, uh, my policy is for the greater good. That should be our country's new motto. That would be a good motto for our 250-year anniversary. From now on, every decision is made for the greater good. Man. You know, and the whole thing about the stupefying of America, it's been planned by corporations, by these leaders for a long time, you know. First they work you so hard that you're tired when you get home, you know. I mean, why do we work 40 hours a week? Why not 35 hours a week or even less? Yeah. Even 30 hours a week seems like enough, you know. And pay well, you know, pay fairly. And yeah, and there's a minimum wage. Why not a maximum wage? You know, like, I mean, you just tax it so that once you get above $500,000, you're taxed extremely heavy. I'm talking in the 90% range, you know, and you know, all that tax money goes to help build roads and bridges and railroads, high-speed rail, and take care of the poor and take care of the homeless and boost Social Security and have national health care. Like, it's not that hard, man. You know, but you got to have a bunch of good people to vote that way. You know, you got to have somebody to sign those kinds of executive orders. You know, Trump signed a whole bunch of shitty executive orders as soon as he got into office. What if we had a really good man sign a whole bunch of really good executive orders as soon as he gets into office? Yeah, turn this whole thing around. And another reason to vote for me is I cannot be bribed. Like, I'm a guy, like, I don't know if I ever made over $40,000 in 1 year, right? So the president gets $400,000 in 1 year, plus everything else is paid for, right? And even when you retire from president, you get like $250,000 a year for the rest of your life, plus all kinds of extras, you know, extremely good health care and whatnot. So you can't bribe me, man, because that's more money than I've ever seen. Like, I'd be happy with that much money. I could relax for the rest of my life with that kind of money. You can't bribe me. So that's a good qualification for being president, being unable to be bribed, as we have recently discovered. That's a very important qualification. So I realize it's almost impossible to make me president, although you should. The question is who could do a better job? You know, is there anybody, any candidates? I maybe Roy, what's his name, Ro Khanna, maybe him. But again, he has brown skin, and people, you know, America has become so stupid that they can't look past things like brown skin. You know, like they can't look past so many things. You know, but you know, but where's all the Democrats, all the liberals, all the progressives? How come they all aren't on his side in Congress? Like, we got to stop. They have to stop. They have to stop this law about joining military expenses with Israel. Like, that is absurd. I'm sorry, but like, the only word I come up with, the most appropriate word according to the Constitution, is treason. That's treason, man. It just is, right? It just is. Read the Constitution. That's fucking treason. That's treason shit, man. And so, you know, where do we find good people? I don't know. But if all you people want me to be president, I'll do it. I mean, I never wanted to be a politician, but what I see happening in my country is so bad, you know, and I don't think it's that hard to make decisions for the greater good. If you're not greedy, I think you can adopt a philosophy of for the greater good, for the greater good of all, for the greater good of my country, you know, for the greater good of the majority, yeah, not the few, like the 6 richest motherfuckers in our country are running the show. Fuck that. It's the people, for the people, by the people, right? On behalf of the people. That's the way a decision's supposed to be made. So anyway, good luck. And don't be lighting fireworks this year. Jesus Christ, it's dry. There's already too many fires. Fireworks are stupid. The dogs hate them. The birds fall out of the sky dead from fireworks. Like, there's nothing good about fireworks. They're stupid. It's a stupid people trick. Just like sports. They just want to distract you so you don't pay attention as they steal everything from your pension fund. That's what the new investing in SpaceX. That they passed the rules to invest your 401k into SpaceX, and then the SpaceX is losing money, not making money. So what's going to happen to your 401k? They're stealing your 401k is what they're doing. That's the plan. Anyway, willful ignorance is one of America's biggest problems. Willful ignorance. Nobody wants to study politics. And I never did when I was young. But we're in such bad shape now. It's important to pay attention now. There's no way to fix anything if you don't pay attention. So look it up. Thanks.